Now, let's talk about the Igbo people of Nigeria. The book that IBB just published and the revelation he made in the book about the purported Igbo coup in the 60s that led to the incessant killings of the Igbo people in the northern region of Nigeria. Because of the killings at that time, Ojukwu, who was a very prominent leader, felt that he cannot just sit down, be watching his people being killed, Igbo people being massacred, and he retaliated. This retaliation is what later led to the Nigerian Civil War. So I have studied the Nigerian Civil War enough. I've also produced a short documentary about Nigerian Civil War as well. So now that, you know what, no matter what in this life, the truth must prevail. And the truth about the Igbo people has prevailed in Nigeria with the revelation of IBB, his book. Thank God he's still alive, to unravel the truths about the Igbo people in Nigeria. Now, what are the actionable steps by the federal government? I live in Canada, for instance. Every year, the federal government apologizes to the indigenous people of this land, the injustice that was done to them during the early Canada. There was one certain program in Canada called residential school where indigenous people were being maltreated. A few years ago, the federal government apologized. You understand? Apologized, and the apology also comes with a compensation. So the federal government right now has the duty to apologize to the Igbo people. Reparation of the Igbo people is now, no wasting of time. It's overdue. The reparation of the Igbo people, they deserve it. Apology first, then an institution should be set up, or a committee that will oversee the issues affecting the Igbo people. Number one, the political exclusion. The Igbo people is one ethnic group that has been excluded from the federal government over this year. Igbo people are not allowed to become the president of Nigeria. Then you go arrest them for agitating. So, the political exclusion, number one. The intergenerational trauma. Have you studied the history of Biafran War or the Nigerian Civil War? How the Igbo people were being killed, their ancestors that were killed. The killings started before the Civil War. How the Igbo people were being massacred in the northern region of... I don't want to reprimand the Igbo people, remind them of their past, what happened to their ancestors. Some of the Igbo people that experienced Biafran War, they're still alive. I even have one man here in Toronto who said he was young during the Biafran War. He experienced it. So, it is overdue. Reparation is overdue in Nigeria. The federal government should apologize immediately. No wasting of time. No wasting of time. So, institutions should be set up to apologize, to address the issues affecting the Igbo people, and compensation as well. Compensation can be a form of palliatives. It can be a form of financial support. It can also be a form of establishing institutions in the eastern states to compensate the Igbo people. Then the political exclusion. The Igbo ethnic group has been excluded over these years from fully participating in the political system of Nigeria, the federal government. So I will give you an example. In Edo State, we have 3 senatorial districts, and over these years, governors from the governorship position has been rotated between the Edo North and Edo South. So the people of the Central said, wait a minute, over these years, it has been the South, governor from the South and the North ruling this state. It is our turn. So we all agreed during the last second election in 2020 when Obaseki was running for the second term. We all agreed that for the next election, which is this past election in 2024, that the major political parties or all the political parties in Edo State should nominate candidates from the Edo Central for fairness sake and equity. That is exactly what they did last year. And today, we have a governor from Edo Central. How about we applying this theory to the federal government to promote fairness and equity in the political landscape of Nigeria? This idea of a Milocon should be dismantled immediately and allow the Igbo people to rule. Enough is enough. The exclusion these people have experienced over these years is enough. Reparation is overdue for the Igbo people. So that is my little advice for the federal government. And those actionable steps is what we want to see now.